guys. It's late. I've been meaning to work on this video for a while. Tomorrow night I'll be pushing my dad's truck out of the garage again and working on the rear end of the Corolla. I'm going to drop it down and pull the axles and pull the diff and take it to my buddy and have it welded. So tonight I figured I would go over the stages that the 86 has been through since I got it 2 years ago from that until now, and this is going to be more of a picture video. I'll be doing more of a voiceover. I'd like to get some ideas. Right now I have an idea of what I need to get, but I'm going to get some other stuff as well. I just haven't decided what all I want. So let's start with this. The day I got the 86. Alright guys, so when I got this car, it was sitting for 16 years under a tree in a field. It was nasty, it was dirty, and so basically the first thing to do was obviously to clean it, so that's what I did. Interior was worn out, like it was not kept up with at all. It didn't have a gas tank or anything. I knew what I wanted to do with this car, so I started ordering parts. I wanted to order nothing but name brand parts for the car. Started with an HKS exhaust catback and a D&D steering wheel and a CNC aluminum hub because I wanted to drift it and I didn't trust the Boss kit from eBay. I bought BC Racing coilovers for it and a new gas tank, a fuel pump drop-in for the gas tank, and a fuel sending unit because I didn't have any of those things. Then I started working on the car. The first thing to do was obviously to put the steering wheel and a shift knob in it. Why not? I bought some new wheels for the car for real cheap. They were Datsun Z wheels and they made the car look a lot better. Then I installed the coilovers. Pretty simple on this car. Then I got into the engine work. It was nasty. It stayed nasty for a while because my main focus was just getting the car running. And then it needed spark plugs and fuel injectors. You can see it was running rich, and an alternator. I put the alternator in and changed the brakes. They were pretty bad. After that, I did a little bit of rust prevention. There was a little bit of rust in the trunk. I sanded it down and painted over it. I didn't fix it, but I did keep it from rusting more. After a little bit of work, I finally got the car running. It still needed more attention, but it ran and drove. And so cleanup began. I cleaned up the interior, put the steering wheel in. Stupid stickers. I ended up taking those stickers off the dashboard. I was looking for some authentic wheels, so I went down to Norfolk and picked up a set of SSR Formula reverse meshes. Then I began test fitting them. The tires that were on the two that had tires were pretty worn out. And eventually, I got it right and got tires on the SSRs and started driving it. Alright, so the 86 needed a clutch, so I ended up trading it for this Camaro to a guy about an hour away from me. It's a nice car, but I ended up selling it for $3,500 and buying this FC Vert. It was a cool car. I really enjoyed this car. Had a decent suspension setup and put some time into it. Made it look nice. This is what it looked like when I traded it. I traded to a guy in North Carolina for this SR naturally aspirated S13 because I know the guy wanted an SR for the 86. So I got it back and cleaned it up again. Luckily, it hadn't changed at all. So, except for a crack in the head. So, I bought a motorcycle, but since the 86 needed work, I ended up selling it and buying a bunch of parts for the Corolla. Bought a decent amount of stuff, and ended up taking a little while to do it all, but this is where the rebuild really began. I bought a new head, and propane bushing kit, extended LCAs, a bunch of other stuff. Header. This header is crap, don't buy it. It's a DNA, it sucks. This is the LCAs, they're plus 15 from TECHNO Toy Tuning. And this is my back seat full of a bunch of junk that I just bought. I bought a panhard rod too. Alright, so I cussed a lot during this. I had a TRD head gasket for the car and the new head to go in the car. I pulled it in the garage, started disassembling the new head to take to the machine shop. They said it was good. Checked it with a straight edge and a feeler gauge. So I started pulling the engine. This went a little bit smoother than I thought it was going to, but it still wouldn't go as smooth as it would now because I had never done it before. But I pulled the engine and transmission together because I was told it was easier, and started taking unnecessary crap out of the engine bay and got the engine on an engine stand so that I could disassemble it. Once I did this, I started working on cleaning some stuff up. The guy I traded it to before did some janky work, and all that needed to be cleaned up. I disassembled the engine, took the parts with me to work, used the parts bin at work to clean it all up, get all the RTV and crap off of it, all new gaskets. Intake was cleaned up, painted the block black, painted the oil pan black, and started reassembling it. Reassembly went super smooth. I got the head back on with the TRD head gasket and put it all back together, painted the valve covers and the cam gears white because why not, right? It's only going to get dirty as hell when you put it back in. Anyways, I wrapped the header because it was melting the distributor, which I still needed to put a heat shield on, and I cleaned up the engine bay. Actually, more time was spent cleaning the engine bay than was actually disassembling and reassembling the engine. It was nasty. But I finally got it all back together and ready to go back in the car. Once I dropped it in the car, I'm not gonna lie, I admired it a little bit. It looked really good in there. It was starting to look more like a race car and less like a stock Corolla, even though I hadn't really done anything. I bought an NRG racing seat and installed that too. We're getting close to where I am now with the car, but there's still a little bit that I haven't mentioned yet. So we'll go over that now. Alright, so I bought a Momo for 25 bucks. I didn't like the D&D. I put the extended lower control arms on and had it aligned. I installed auto meter gauges in the gauge pod or gauge shroud, and if you haven't seen my video for the bushing install, I'll put a description or a link rather in the description. And this is where I'm at with the car now. So I'm still going to get negative camber roll center adjusters and a few other odds and ends, and I'm getting aero, and I'm going to paint the car back to red so that it looks presentable. My thing is, I'm getting $4 grand back in taxes, and all I know that I have to buy is negative camber roll center adjusters and body kit and paint and a truck. So if you have an idea of anything that I should buy, comment below, let me know, just to give me some ideas. If not, I'm probably going to put some money into the Z, or I might buy something V8 to have fun with on the weekends. Who knows? Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, or don't. It's up to you.